Right then, we're getting set to go racing in Monaco, the crown jewel of Formula 1 racing. Let's be honest, it's pretty shit for Formula 1 racing, but fear not, because the rain is on its way, or so they say. At the start of the week, it was looking like it was going to be downpours on Saturday, downpours on Sunday, but as is always the case with Formula 1, as you get closer through towards the race during the week, and as you expect there to be rain, it becomes less and less likely. Not looking like it's going to be wet at all on Saturday now. However, Formula1.com are still predicting a 60% chance of rain, which means almost certainly the race is going to be as dry as Alex Albon's sex life if he doesn't stop dyeing his hair like Jerry fucking Halliwell. That's not how to get back in with Christian Horner and Red Bull, lads. Speaking of Christian Horner and Red Bull, Christian's had a lot to say this week on the budget cap and the need for Formula 1 to raise this to ensure that certain teams don't miss 4 or 5 races to ensure that their spending doesn't take them over the cap. AKA, we're shit scared of losing our competitive advantage and our ability to throw cash at any given situation. We want some changes and we're going to throw our toys out the pram. Now, I do think Christian made a couple of decent points. Firstly, cost of living crisis, unfortunately for all us paupers and non-Formula 1 multimillionaires, means that price increases are getting passed on to consumers. That is the same in Formula 1. Inflation and cost of materials is going up. And he's basically saying, look, if we don't address this, everything's getting more expensive. If the cap doesn't come up with that, it's going to be hard for us to stay in that realm. But he also suggested in general, in principle, the whole cap needs to go up. And a few of the guys at Aston Martin disagreed and basically have come back and said, yeah, let's increase it in line with inflation, but we don't need to go further than that. It's not fair on us and some of the other teams. And I think they're right, because the brilliant thing about the cap is, even though there's still going to be a big differential in the top of what the budget cap is and what the smaller teams are spending, as that comes lower and lower, the guys who are throwing more and more money at it, Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari, that gap will incrementally get smaller and smaller, and hopefully the incremental gains that then develops for them on track will get smaller and smaller as well, and we'll get more racing. So I think that's a really good point from the guys at Aston Martin. Let's not let the big guys bully us and take the piss like they've done in the past. Let's increase it to make sure that people can afford to pay for things and fit within this gap and give us some great competitive racing, but let's not go any further than that. And speaking of Aston Martin, Sebastian Vettel is coming into the weekend after getting mugged in Barcelona. I don't mean mugged off on track with another pretty poor show from Aston Martin, not Seb himself, but the team. He was literally mugged in Barcelona by some assailants. He has to chase after the assailants on his scooter to catch up to them. And let's be honest, he had more chance of catching up with organised criminals on a scooter through the streets of Barcelona than he does catching any of the midfield in what has been another really disappointing redesign for the Aston Martin team. The updates might have looked like a Red Bull, but let's be honest, it performs like you'd ordered an RB18 from Wish.com. Really disappointing weekend for Aston Martin and the team there as well. Over at Ferrari, Matteo Binotto has said, overall positive weekend last weekend in Spain, despite losing that championship lead, and they're looking forward to Monaco and getting homegrown hero Charles Leclerc's, hopefully, finally, that race win that he's been looking for. Look, if he doesn't make the start of the race, or he DNFs again, or he has another problem, we'll know this lad's got more curses on him than Harry fucking Potter. I don't know what Charles Leclerc needs to do to get a positive result at Monaco, but this is looking like his weekend. It's going to be him and Max, I think, all the way. I can't see anyone else coming through and being able to make anything of this race in terms of challenging for a race win. Overall, though, I must say I do enjoy watching Monaco. I'm really excited for qualifying. I think watching the cars on the limit in such confines, it really sorts the men from the boys, as they say, in terms of getting that championship qualifying order sorted out. So it's going to be an exciting one. If there is rain, it's going to be absolutely brilliant. I think the biggest problem for Formula 1 at Monaco, as we've seen that Formula E can do it, the cars are just too big, too bulky. They can't fit round the tight corners and the tight sequences where there even is opportunities for overtakes, because they're just too damn big, and it's getting harder and harder to enjoy watching the race at Monaco from my side. I mean, watching them go round and round those streets, it's like Zach Brown trying to fit into Yuki Tsunoda's race suit. It's just not going to happen, and it's just too much in too small a gap. So unless they change the track layout, which they've often said they don't want to do, or unless the regs change again and make the cars smaller, which they also have said they don't really want to do because it's harder to improve the safety facilities on that unless you make them really much heavier and much slower, I think Monaco does need a rethink, but I'm looking forward to watching it. The glitz, the glamour, the excitement, the change of championship order at the top after last weekend means that Charles and those boys are going to be really excited to get back into it. There could be some really good, exciting shake-ups if it does rain. Let's pray for a safe race, but maybe a wet one, and hopefully a wet qualifying as well. That'd be absolutely brilliant. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you've come from my TikTok, don't forget to subscribe and comment for your chance to win the Monaco Print, which is somewhere above my head over here. And I'll see you on the next one.